I know I've been rather inconsistent about posting on social media, and part of that has stemmed from just the fact that I've always felt like somebody that never really mattered and nobody really cared about my opinion. Um, and like being a millennial who grew up with MySpace and having chat rooms and such back then, that was a pretty fun experience. Being able to talk to people across the world and not knowing back then whether or not if maybe it was some older man pretending to be a young female I was engaged in conversation with, or, you know, uh, or whatever for that matter. But it was fun for me. And then Facebook came along. Facebook was fun until I started noticing a pattern of like bots. And the bot accounts had really discouraged me from even trying to pursue conversations with people, and then it just seemed like, well, YouTube had taken off, and then Instagram had a moment, and then Twitter, and then TikTok. And by the time TikTok came around, I couldn't keep up. I don't know. I wasn't really heavy into social media at that point because it just seemed to get a little exhausting. So I had quit. I had quit social media. I would occasionally hop on just to see if someone had messaged me or whatever, and that was pretty much it. And then I it popped up on my news feed that the Sora 2 app had launched in October of 2025, and I wanted to take advantage of it. So I hopped on and I was able to create an account, and then I started um, making videos and just experimenting with it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, I was making videos of myself like at a club, and my mother calling me and texting me and stuff like just rather nonsensical stuff. But then I started getting inspired by people that were making music videos, and I'm like, oh, you can make music videos on this thing. That's so cool. And so like I started I started making videos of myself where like I was on a subway train rapping. I mean, granted, my prompting for um, Sora was terrible in the beginning. Like I was singing out of tune, and the lyrics were off key. I mean, yeah, it was just terrible at the beginning. But then once I started watching some videos and reading some forums on how the prompting worked, then I started refining it and getting it a little bit better. And um, and then there was a point where I realized that you could create your own characters, and so I started creating characters that were a reflection of pieces of me. And so like I created two R&B girls, Nova and Monica, and they were amalgamations of like 90s R&B female artists like SWV, Monica, Aaliyah. And then after that I had experimented with a couple of new metal characters, and uh, went through a few. I ended up tossing them out just because I didn't like their style, but I kept one. We Good is what I called him. He was in the style of like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park. And then I created a character that was a little bit of like the kind of men that I've dated in the past that are ginger and hairy men. Yeah, and I did, and he's a melodic trap singer, so Teddy Bear is what I named him, and then he ended up becoming my virtual boyfriend in Sora. Is the narrative that I played with, and so after that, then I had created a bunch of other characters that were just small reflections of like my style of music and me in some way. But then like another iconic character that really took off on the platform was Gina X. She's a Filipino pop star that is into dark goth music. A lot of sexy gothic outfits, a very heavy melodic bass that was just very sexually driven, and it a lot of people liked it. Like she was the personification of like being an empowered female when she walked into the room without needing to overly sexualize herself. Like just her presence and her vocals and the bass brought that. And so, um, but like, I started making different, I started making different series, like different chapters in Sora for just because like I like horror. So like I created a series where like the hive mind of Dead Space and the aliens, like the xenomorph, were taking over and influencing the characters and corrupting them. And then, like, I had a couple music festivals where people would perform live on stage and have that opportunity to have community. And it was then that I started realizing the social aspect that I had been missing from social media for the longest time. And Sora gave that to me. And then I started having friends, talking to them online, and we would talk about like the kind of prompting that we would do and what worked for them and what worked for me and what we could do better to make our videos pop up more. And then we would talk about, like things that we would do in our own personal lives, like what shows we watched and how the kids are doing and how their dog is and how they're feeling and around the holidays kind of thing. And so it it just started feeling like a community kind of thing. And I it was nice. I mean, granted, yeah, we had to deal with some of the bullshit that, OpenAI would do with Sora every now and then, where they'd release an update and it's like, oh no, you can't make this video because it's too racy. Like, God forbid a woman would show a little cleavage. I mean, yeah, just stupid shit like that. Or, uh, or if you'd have a copyrighted character in a video, like they started slamming hard on that. I mean, okay, yeah, I can't argue with that. But um, but like I started finding that I was growing really attached to my characters, like really bringing them to life and feeling like they had a voice. And I've always been the mindset of like wanting to empower people. And so I feel like I was able to take like different reflections of myself and give them some visibility. And it was with Sora that it inspired me to actually take some of my poetry that I wrote over the last 20 some years and start writing it as music. Because one of my lifelong goals when I was younger was I was going to take my poetry and turn it into music as like one of my life legacies. And so then I found Suno, and Suno had helped with that as well. And I have some music posted on my Suno account. Um, but the goal is to take some of my original poetry, because a lot of the stuff that's on Suno now is new stuff. It's not the old stuff. I want to take my old stuff and actually put it on major platforms like Apple Music and Spotify and Pandora. But the thing I'm getting at is Sora helped me a lot with those things. And now today, that they had dropped a bombshell on their main account that Sora is going to be shut down. And according to other content creators, I have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to close out any narratives that I have and download the videos that I want to salvage. I mean, of course, I have OCD, so I've already downloaded all my videos as soon as I post them along the way, and they're in my iCloud. But the thing about it is, I have to essentially say goodbye to those characters. And that's hard to do. And more importantly, it's hard to say goodbye to the people that I've acquired as friends along the way. I mean, sure, like, we'll keep in touch through Discord and whatnot, but it's never the same. I mean, the reality of it is, like, it goes back to high school days where, you're in your final week of high school and people are signing your yearbook and they're like, "Oh my God, we're going to keep in touch, and we'll get together on the weekends and we'll have coffee and stuff and we'll shoot the shit, whatever." And but then, because you don't have the thing that brought you together there anymore, you just slowly drift apart. Like, that's just kind of how like it works with these things. And so I wanted to make this video to let others know, because I know there's others that are out there that feel the same way that I do. Like, you're not alone. And it's a hard place to be. I mean, I know this too will pass. And I know that change is inevitable. But my God, I I I have 1,500 followers on Sora. Like, I've never had that many. I've never had that kind of following before. Like, that's groundbreaking for me. And, like, now it's just being taken away. And I've never seen a social media platform before close like this one. Like, I don't know. I guess I was just always of the mindset that, like, everything's going to be forever. But, apparently, I guess OpenAI forgot how to monetize themselves. And, yeah, the server farms aren't exactly cheap to run. So I guess it makes sense. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is, because I've dealt with loss of friendships and people I care for my whole life. I mean, when I was younger, I was a military child and we moved around every 4 years. And back then, because it was the 90s, we had the intention of keeping in touch through pen and paper through snail mail, but it never happened, because, I mean, we would have to keep in touch through their grandmother, and then their grandmother didn't forward the letter or whatever, and yeah, it just didn't work out. But yeah, having to deal with that kind of loss and uprooting my whole life, it's been a never-ending theme. So, like, I get it. Like, yeah, life goes on, but a part of you gets left behind in it as well. And so I guess what I'm just trying to say is, yeah, for anyone out there that's feeling the same way I do, yeah, you're not alone. Because now, like, I do realize that people love the music that I make. It's inspired me to want to make actual music. I mean, granted, like, maybe not with instruments, but like with the digital synthesizing and stuff. I have to read up more on it, but with some help of AI. But actually getting my music out there for people to listen to. So um, it has inspired me to do that, and I would I would love to be able to help people, help produce and make, you know, music videos and stuff. I mean, granted, I know I'm not going to be like the next Timbaland kind of thing, but I mean, hey, a girl can dream, right? Like, sure, but I don't know. It was just having having AI was a nice way to explore that side of me. Yeah, and now that it's going away, it's kind of inspiring me to put myself out there and be uncomfortable and take a risk. And actually get out and socialize more, because I didn't realize how much I love the social the community, the communal aspect of that, until I actually had it again. Yeah, cuz it's hard when people go. And at this phase of my life, people don't just go because they're moving. They go because they die, either from heart attacks or some disease or cancer, or just because we no longer agree on things and we can't come to an understanding. And to lose people because a social platform is closing, that wasn't on my bingo card. Yeah. So at this point, then, what I'm going to do is start posting my videos of Sora. I have to figure out how I want to post them, so then the story as a whole is chronological, and they're not just small 15-second segments. Because the thing about Sora was, in the beginning they only let you make 15-second clips, and then near the end you could actually create like a 4-minute video if you wanted to. I mean, granted, it cost a lot of credits, but hey, it was worth it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to work on that. So, I hope anyone that's watching, I hope you subscribe and stay tuned, and listen to the music, because, yeah, a lot of people have related to it. And I just hope that perhaps in the future there'll be another opportunity for another platform like Sora. For those of us who, struggle to go out and socialize and put ourselves out there and be vulnerable. I mean, sure, it's easy to discredit an AI platform because, oh, it's AI. Like, it's not creative. Like, you still have to put some thought into it. I mean, sure, people can create what they call slop. Anybody can make slop. But the people that actually care about art will put themselves into it and make it count. And that's what I did. So, anyway, I think I'm done rambling for now, and I thank you for watching. And for those that have found me from Sora, leave yourself in the comment. We'd love to hear from you again. I love you.